name's Joanne Peniston. I'm 35 years old, and I'm a single mother of 2 girls. I worked 6 years at Sensata Technologies, and I recently found out that my job was going overseas. I'm worried that I won't be able to feed or clothe or pay for schooling for my daughters.
The company Mitt Romney built is still outsourcing jobs. Bain Capital's latest target is a plant of 170 workers in Freeport, Illinois. Sensata Technologies is a car sensor manufacturing company. At the end of this year, the company, which is owned by Bain Capital, will close its Freeport plant and send those jobs to Communist China. People who have devoted their life to this company and community are devastated.
For a second time, I will lose my job to China.
Finding a job at 57 is going to be very difficult, let alone something that you can live on.
I face the real possibility of bankruptcy and losing my home.
When I found out that Sensata was owned by Bain Capital and Mitt Romney's helped start Bain Capital and still profits heavily from Bain Capital, I got really upset with this.
So last night, Freeport City Council unanimously approved a resolution organized by Sensata workers saying asking Mitt Romney to save their jobs. The resolution calls on Romney to come to Freeport, Illinois, to meet the people directly affected by Bain Capital's outsourcing and to step in and stop the outsourcing of these jobs from Freeport to China. A Romney spokesperson told the Huffington Post Romney left Bain in 1999 and has no knowledge of the situation in Freeport. Romney surrogates appear to be just as clueless as the former governor. When asked by a local reporter if Mitt Romney should intervene, Congressman Alan Kingenzer, a Romney supporter, ignored the question.
When you talk about Bain Capital, it's just an attempt by this administration to not talk about their record, which is really what the American voters are going to vote on.
I'm not talking about the administration. I'm talking about real people who are losing their jobs.
Yeah. No, I think, the reality of it is when you talk about Bain Capital and you talk about Mitt Romney, it's an attempt to take the focus off what's going on and where the economy's at for November.
Those folks are in your district, buddy. And I got news for you. What's happening in Freeport, Illinois? That is the economy. Joining me tonight is Shelley Griswold, the Director of Community Development for the city of Freeport, Illinois, and Dot Turner. She's been a worker at the Sensata plant for 43 years. I want to thank both of you for joining us tonight and telling the American people what it's like on the verge of being outsourced. Dot, I want to ask you first, if you lose your job, what are you going to do?
Well, I'm going to have to try to retrain myself at my age and do something different.
What kind of impact will this loss have on you and your family?
Well, I'll be losing a real good income, and I'll be going on unemployment, and it's going to really be really difficult for me to try to think about going back to school at my age and being retrained.
I can imagine this is a tremendous shock to a lot of the employees there at Sensata. Your colleagues are currently training Chinese workers who have been taking your jobs. That's got to be tough. But, Shelley, I want to ask you, what do you expect Mitt Romney to do? What would you want Mitt Romney to do?
Well, we certainly know his history with Bain Capital, and we understand, we don't understand fully what his relationship with Bain Capital is now, but we certainly believe he has some influence, and the workers here really would love for Mitt Romney to come to our community and talk to the people who are losing their jobs. Actually, what we would really love to see, as the mayor and I talked this afternoon, would be for Governor Romney and President Obama to hold a debate in the city of Freeport to talk about how to make America more competitive. Companies like Bain Capital are in the business of creating wealth. On the local level, in economic development, we're in the business of creating jobs, and those two things don't have to be mutually exclusive. But it's difficult to handle those issues on a local level because it's federal policies that make the difference. So we would love to see a debate held in Freeport, which is the home of one of the Lincoln Douglas famous debates, and see those two gentlemen come and talk about how to make America more competitive and how we can keep our jobs here at home.
Well, how are you going to follow up on that? Are you going to ask the Obama team and the Romney team to do just that, or is this just community talk right now? I mean, you're on a national show saying you want to make this happen. Who's going to follow up on that? I think it's a heck of an idea.
Well, the mayor is on the case, and he is determined to make it happen.
Okay. Now, Shelley, why is the plant being shut down? Are the workers not as good as the Chinese workers? What was the reason given from Bain Capital for this action?
Well, the reason that I understand is because it's a business decision based on revenues and profits. However, we would stake our Northern Illinois workers, our productive workers, our well-trained workers, our workers with a great Midwestern work ethic against any workers, and we find it hard to believe that they'll be able to find people of the same caliber that will do the job that our folks in Freeport do right now.
Dot, who do you blame for this situation?
I blame the politicians and the government for allowing these big corporations to take our jobs and send them overseas, and I call it just corporate greed.
Shelley, what would you like to say to Mitt Romney?
Well, I guess I'd like to tell Governor Romney that it's really easy to stand on a stage and talk in abstract, but it's not abstract on a local level. We've got 170 families in Freeport that are going to be impacted. They're going to lose their jobs. Some of them, like Dot, have worked there their whole careers, and they've never been trained for anything else, and now they're faced in middle age. They're going to have a very difficult time in this economy finding jobs. But it's not just them, because there's a ripple effect. I mean, it's not just the people who work at Sensata and Freeport. It's the people the mechanics that fix their cars, the barbers that cut their hair. It's a ripple effect through our economy. We already had a not strong housing economy in Freeport before the recession, and it's even worse now. If we have families leaving Freeport, we can't afford to have more empty houses in our community. So it really has a huge impact on our community, and I would really like Governor Romney to recognize that and really look at the individuals that are being impacted.
Shelley Griswold and Dot Turner, great to have you with us tonight. All the best to you. I know these times aren't easy. Coming up, it's the common sense answer to bring jobs back to the United States, just what we were talking about. But the Republicans, where are they? Well, they're not going to let it happen. Find out why. They want to reward companies like Bain Capital for laying off American workers and shipping the jobs overseas. And Mitt Romney says the rich are doing just fine and the middle class needs help. Our panel will weigh in on why job creators aren't creating jobs. Stay tuned. We're right back at the Ed Show.